The My Hero Academia CCG has finally been out for about a month over here in the US and Canada, with events going on like the Omaha 1K Smash that went on a couple weeks ago, locals going on online and in person all around Canada and the US. I think a lot of people have an idea of decks that they think that are pretty strong. And for me, there's 3 decks in particular that I think that are really strong, that I personally have struggled with, that I've actually piloted as well. And I think it's pretty strong. I was able to pick up some crazy wins, some in which I've never even lost a single vitality. I've been going to locals on in person. I've been playing in locals online. I've been playing with some of you guys on Discord in the official My Hero Academia server. My Discord's coming soon. I've just been pretty busy over the past couple days. But with that being said, the first character I want to talk about, and to be no surprise to anybody, it will be Kirishima. Now, Kirishima is where do I start? So his character card is already pretty cool, pretty interesting. I mean, sure, he is a 5-hand sizer, but he has an ability that he can use twice per turn, where you add the foundation, where you can add 1 foundation from your stage to your hand and give an attack +2 damage or -2 damage, good on offense or defense. But essentially, this ability allows you to loop attacks, right? You can actually be able to add attack cards to your foundation area. Sorry, not your foundation area, it's called your staging area. And then from your staging area, you can go ahead and pick that back up to your hand and then use that attack again, which is pretty nuts. And you can use that effect twice per turn. His once per turn in hand, you can build a top card of your deck face down, so you're always guaranteed to get a consistent build into your staging area, and that's somewhat good for somebody that's only going to have a hand size of 5. Now, where things get quite interesting is because of his unique card, Coordinated Effort, and this card is just absolutely disgusting. So of course it is a 3 diff, but it has a control check value of 6, which is really damn good. And this is a unique that most people are maxing out on. You're playing 4 of these. I rarely ever, if ever, see anybody play it at 3. You're kind of foolish to not play it at 4. In fact, in my first build, I think I only had 2. That just shows how much I knew about the game back then. But I mean, I still don't call myself an expert or think I know a lot about the game now. But after playing it for the past month, this is an instant 4-up. So basically what you can do is, after your blocked attack resolves, you can go ahead and build it face down. I just went over how you can go ahead and use Kirishima's character card enhance and go ahead and add a foundation from your stage to your hand. So essentially, after your attack is blocked, if it's blocked, you go ahead and add it to your hand, build it face down, use your Kirishima effect, and go ahead and add that baby back up to your hand, and you can continue your onslaught of attacks. It's just absolutely nutty. I actually think that this card is so good. Then on top of that, you have access to a card like Manly Passionate Guy, where after you block with a foundation, you can build it face up. Really goes well with that mountain symbol, and because of this, Jiro Kirishima can be extremely overwhelming. Having attacks like Hardened Chop and Hardened Jab are extremely strong. I think Jiro Kirishima is probably the best deck in this current format. Next up, I want to talk about a deck that I personally pilot, that I've been able to take a couple of crazy wins on. And yeah, I played some matches where I've taken absolutely 0 damage, just completely destroyed my opponent, and that is Izawa on the Void symbol. If you guys haven't checked my Izawa deck profile, you guys can go ahead and check that out. I'm actually going to be making some changes to it. I went up against a guy that played the Izawa Void Kick build as well, and I really liked how his build played. It was definitely better than mine. I was going up against him with my Aoyama deck, and my Aoyama deck is actually pretty good. I topped up my locals with it, so I'm pretty happy. And I will have that deck profile for you guys in the future. So stay tuned for an Izawa deck profile update, as well as my Aoyama deck. But Izawa, specifically on the Void symbol, is absolutely nuts. Having access to Erase is crazy. It is such a good effect. Being able to pick it back up using Eraserhead's effect and continuously get +2 speed or -2 speed on the defensive end. And then of course you have access to the Ida package. He basically uses Ida's cards better than himself, being able to go for really great reciprocal bursts, doing a ton of damage. You have your engine kick, you also have engine rush, you have your binding kick. All of those kicks together make Izawa an absolute beast on the defensive end and on the offensive end. because not only are you drawing a ton of cards from your character's effects, so you'll always have cards in hand for block when it's switching back to your opponent's turn, but you're putting your opponent in really tough situations in which they have to use cards in their hand in order to block your attack. So it's absolutely nuts. You have a ton of way to lower your opponent's speed with cards like Heroic Lineage and things like that. So you taking damage is actually very, very rare if you play it right. Of course, he does have some bad matchups, and that's going to be the card that, or the character that I think is sleeper, a character that I think is really, really damn good. And that character is Jiro. Now, I'm not too sure if this is a common sentiment around a lot of people, but because I played a ton of Izawa, in fact, Izawa is basically my main deck, I found out that I've had a really difficult matchup with Jiro. Because Jiro's effects happen before the enhanced step even play, she's able to get those response effects off, and you actually can't use Erase. You're not able to use Night Watch until you actually are able to get into that step when it's your turn for responses, when it's your turn for the enhances. So Jiro's really able to pop off and get her attacks really, really big before the turn even gets passed over to you, right? Having cards that can have flash on them, so it just goes straight to blocks as well, making it so you're not able to do any of your lowering speed shenanigans to make things more easier to block. It allows her to set up for some combos if she is on the all symbol. A lot of people playing her on air, where she has access to Comet and all those good things. I think that she's a really, really good deck. In fact, her Acid is also an underrated card, giving all of her charge attacks a +1 speed and also milling your opponent for 1. Typically for me and for other Izawa builds, I've seen a ton of people playing with a 50 card deck, and having the ability to mill 1 card every single attack doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, it adds up, especially when you're playing like what, 17 attack, 18 attacks. You mill 1 attack, you mill another attack, you mill another attack, maybe you already used a couple attacks in that game. All of a sudden you're drawing your hands and you're not seeing any attacks, and Jiro is seeing hers. She also has ability to that 1 card, the name is slipping my mind, but I'll put it on the screen right now, where she can go ahead and commit it and lower your attack by 3 speed, which is really, really good on defense, so she can go ahead and continue to block, and oh, she can do that every turn because again, it's just a simple commit. I mean, for me, I think Jiro is really, really strong, and I also think that once she gets access to the Ochako DLC, she's going to be even stronger. So for me, guys, those are my 3 characters. Those are my top 3 heroes, or top 3 characters, sorry, that I think are the best right now, at least from what I've seen in locals and from what I've seen online. Obviously, there's people that are playing Kamui Woods, there's people that are playing Nomu, there's people that are playing all types of decks. A lot of people playing Shigaraki. A lot of people say Shigaraki is sleeper as well. I'm sure we'll start seeing a lot more Shigaraki popping up. But overall, for me personally, I would say Kirishima, Eraserhead, and Jiro. Those are the 3. I would love to know who are the 3 top decks that you guys have been going up against. Do you guys think that there are any sleeper picks? I see a lot more people picking up Kamui Woods. Do you think Kamui Woods can be really, really deadly? Obviously, a lot of people blocking stuff, being able to go ahead and use his ability, it's pretty nutty, right? So what are your guys' thoughts? I'm actually working on a Kamui Woods build. I'm trying to figure out what symbol I want to build him on. But stay tuned, guys. Got more content coming for you this week. Tomorrow, Aoyama deck profile. Day after that, we got my Asui Suyu deck profile, and more content coming soon. Stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.